Jungkook carefully unlocked the door to their home, holding Yoon in his arm like a precious bear. The effect of the alcohol were still evident in her slightly slurred rambling, and she clung to him like a koala, her arms wrapped tightly around his neck. He managed to open the door and step inside before closing it behind them. "It's so cold in here," she mumbled, gripping him tightly. He can feel her shivering slightly in his hold, her face buried under his shoulder. He walked over to the sofa and carefully sat her down, deciding it would be a better place for her since both of their clothes were still damp from their adventure in the cold water, her grip reluctantly loosening as he eased himself out of her embrace. "You need to change, so do I. We both are freezing." He began by removing his wet shoes and socks, placing them aside. Plus, glancing at Yun, he could see her shivering, her teeth chattering slightly. He sighed, realizing they needed to get out of their wet clothes. Kneeling down in front of her, he gently started to unlace her wet shoes. She mumbled something which he couldn't quite catch up, the wet shirt now itching him in his skin. Once her shoes were off, he stood up and he peeled off his own wet shirt, revealing the cold-induced goosebump on his skin. Yun watched him with drowsy curiosity. Jungkook then turned his attention back to her, gently guiding her to stand up. "Let's get you changed first." He moved to unbutton the wet coat around her. Her eyes flutter open, looking confused as she stared at him. "What are you doing? Trying to get you out of these wet clothes?" He helped her out of the wet coat, revealing her shivering form. He quickly walked from there, retrieved a dry towel from the bathroom, and wrapped it around her, rubbing it against her arms and back to generate some warmth. "Alright, now, you sit here, I'll find something warm for you to wear." And she sat there with a pout on her face, now slightly more aware of her surroundings. She watched him walking towards the wardrobe and searching for something. And then he finally returned with something in his hand, maybe something sweater or hoodie, and handed it to her. "Put this on, I will be right back." He quickly changed into a dry cloth himself, making sure to grab a pair of sweatpants for Yoon. As he returned to the room, he saw her still struggling with the hoodie to get on herself. He shook his head when heard that footstep. She peeked her head out of the hoodie. "These things hit me. Need some help?" "No, you pervert." Jungkook raised an eyebrow as he walked towards her. "Now, what did I do? I'm trying to help, and I have seen you in worse situation, princess." Yoon pouted as she tried to get her hand inside the sleeves, but bat his hand away, glaring at him as he reached for to help her. "Stop calling me princess. Only my husband get to call me that. And don't touch my clothes, you pervert." "Pervert? Really? There is nothing I've not seen, honey. Why so defensive?" Her cheeks flushed even more and she narrowed her eyes at him, and then gave it a one try to get her head in the sleeves, but gave up. "Fine, help me here." Jim couldn't help but a tearless smile form on his face. "Now, someone needs my help, Yeah, and don't try anything funny. Hands where I can see them." She pointed her finger at him and he tried to suppress his smile. He can't believe he is dealing with a drunken girl who happened to be his wife. He crouched down in front of her, guided her hand into the sleeves, and she easily wore it. She made a confused face. That was easy when she was trying, it was difficult. Maybe you are not entirely bad person." "Ouch, that hurts. Here, the other arm." He processed to help her with other sleeve, trying not to chuckle at her tipsy sass. As Jin finally managed to get into a hoodie, she looked at Jungkook's face, his face close to hers. You're pretty close up here, Mr. Pervert Gentleman." "Oh really? I didn't know." Then say thanks to me." Are you done now? Can I get to sleep?" "Not so fast, princess. I still have some work left." He gave her sweatpants and she looked at them boringly, surpassing a yawn. Jungkook chuckled at her demand, finding her drunken state cute. So he turned around as per her demand to give her privacy. Oh, why this is so difficult? I can help you with that if you want. No, I got this. I need your help, you pervert. If my husband knew what you were doing right now, he'd do beat you up. Oh really? What can your husband do to me if I kiss you right now? He's not here. You wouldn't dare. Don't take me as a weak girl. She warned him and he laughed out loud. He can't resist when she is being this adorable, threatening him even in her drunken state. Okay, now you can turn around. So he did around and then there she was in baby pink pajamas looking adorable. He wants to squeeze her cheek. He gently scooped her in his arms, cradling her carefully as he made his way to the bathroom. Now, where are you taking me? Hold on, just one more thing before we can sleep. He placed her on the bathroom counter and then watched him with curiosity. He grabbed her toothbrush and toothpaste, squeezing a bit onto the brush before handing it to her. Here, time to brush your teeth. She took it and then looked at the brush, but instead of brushing her teeth, she smeared some paste on her own cheek. Jungkook shook his head for the nth time. Are you sure that's how you use toothpaste? She nodded, playing with the toothpaste, but Jungkook decided it was time to take charge. He took the toothbrush from her and applied toothpaste again. Stay still, I don't want to. She wiggled, trying to avoid the brush, so he leaned down, pecking her lips, making her pause in her face. Good girl, now show me your teeth. He obediently opened her mouth, showing her perfect teeth, making herself appear like a adorable baby. He held her jaw and brushed her teeth. Halfway, she started to brush her own teeth, giving him time to brush his own. And when they were done, he wiped her face with a towel. Let's get you bed now. But Yoon shook her head, her lips forming a pout. She tapped on her lips, signaling that she wanted something. First, Jungkook thought there was something on his lips. He looked at the mirror, but there was nothing. He looked back at her. What? She made her lips even more pouty to get his attention, so he leaned in, pecked her lips, but she was not satisfied. She continued to tap for more kisses. Oh, you really want more? You are not sleepy now? He shook her head, indicating her readiness for more affection. Jungkook chuckled, indulged her, preparing her lips with more kisses. She giggled when he tickled her lightly, and then he scooped her up and carried her back to the bed. They both settled in the warm comforter. She sat there hiding under the blanket. Wear this, he said, showing socks, but Yoon take the blanket over her head, hiding herself in it. You will catch cold if you don't cover up. Come on, be a good girl and put this on. He tried to coax her out of the blanket, but Yoon shook her head, refusing to emerge. Jungkook tried to remove the blanket again, but only hear her whine. Alright then, I'm going. She suddenly popped her head out, narrowing her eyes on him. You are bossy, Mr. Perfect Gentleman. Jungkook laughed at her choice of words, appreciating the way she could maintain her sense of humor even in this state. Well, you are the one who decided to go for a midnight swim, now socks. Yoon peeked out from the blanket, her pout returning. She reluctantly extended her foot, allowing Jungkook to put the socks on. When the socks were in place, she wiggled her toes, satisfied. Better? She nodded her head, and Jungkook then tucked her in the bed. She wrapped her arms around him once they were settled, now tightly snuggling in his chest, warmed, entangled her legs to his. Sleep well, my tipsy princess. He kissed her forehead and then room fell into complete silence. A quiet room, a sleepy princess, and the shared warmth of the bedroom. Yoon's eyes fluttered open, and the harsh morning light pierced through her pounding head. She groaned, attempting to sit up, but the room felt like it was spinning. Closing her eyes, she took a deep breath to stop feeling sick. Her head hurt a lot, and she couldn't remember much from the night before. The memories were all fuzzy. She turned her head to the side, squinting at the clock. Then early morning sunlight filtered through the curtains, and Yoon winced at its brightness. As she adjusted to the lights, she noticed her surroundings. Glancing down, she saw herself clad in one of Jungkook's oversized sweater, pajamas, and socks. Confusion etched over her face as she tried to piece together the event of the night. Her gaze shifted to Jungkook, who was still sleeping beside her. His back turned to her. Yoon remembered everyone was insisting on drinking at the gathering, even Hanna, who didn't like drinking. Then realization hit her. They both had drunk a lot despite not handling alcohol well. She attempted to sit up. Another wave of dizziness hit her. This time she noticed the pulsing itch at the back of her head. She let out another groan, her hand instinctively reaching for her temple. Oh, my head. She scanned the room, searching for a glass of water. Spotting one on the bedside table, she reached for it, taking a sip to soothe her parched throat. Closing her eyes, she heard shuffling, followed by a deep groan. She opened her eyes and looked at Jungkook, who had turned around to her. His eyes were closed, but the furrowed her eyebrows as she noticed his nose was red. He curled up in a ball, slightly shivering. Jungkook, are you okay? Worried, she placed her glass aside and moved closer to him, gently touching his forehead. She realized he was burning up. Oh no, you have a fever. She bit her lips, contemplating what to do. Jungkook stood but kept his eyes closed. I'm fine, just need more sleep. Yoon shook her head, concerned abs on her face. No, you need medicine and some food. Let's get you up. She tried, but Jungkook was being stubborn. He groaned and grabbed her wrist, attempting to pull her onto the bed with him. Just a little more sleep. Lay beside me. Jungkook, no, you need to take medicine. She said, freeing her wrist from his scream, feeling no energy in his body. Jungkook let go and closed his eyes again. Stay here, I'll be back. He didn't reply, so Yoon walked out of there into the kitchen and began to make soup. She heard footsteps, saw Hanna stumbling over to the kitchen. Hey, you woke up already? Hanna groaned, holding her head. Oh god, yeah, the headache is killing me. I swear I will never touch alcohol in my life ever again. She nodded in agreement, clutching her own head. I second that. What happened last night? Everything's a blur. Same, I don't know what happened, but that's not important. I want coffee. Hanna stumbled over to the coffee maker, desperately seeking a remedy for her pounding headache. And why staying sleeping outside the sofa? I don't know. I just remember they both came into the club to take us home, and then I don't know what happened. What are you making? Soup. Jungkook has a high fever from last night. Oh, do you need help? No, it's okay, I can do it. Then you can take care of him. I will make breakfast for either today. Are you sure? Yes, and you know it will. And you know it well when he falls sick, he becomes whiny, so take care of him. Okay, thank you. As they were engrossed in the conversation, Taehyung walked into the kitchen. The atmosphere suddenly felt awkward as they exchanged good mornings. Why were you sleeping on the sofa? Taehyung nervously ran his hand through his hair, tried to act nonchalant. Oh, just crashed on the sofa, I was tired. Hanna nodded, oblivious to the storm inside Taehyung's head. However, Taehyung felt a strange mix of relief and disappointment. Relief that she didn't remember, and disappointed that she didn't. Hanna continued sipping her coffee, unaware of the tension that in the kitchen. Taehyung gazed lingered on her for a moment longer than he intended, his thought a jumbled mess. He couldn't quite comprehend why he was feeling this way. After all, he never liked Hanna, so why he is suddenly feeling like this? Or maybe he did, but never acknowledged it. Yoon walked towards the bed, where Jungkook was still curled up, shivering slightly. The room was quiet. Her eyes softened as she approached, carrying a tray with a bowl of soup and a glass of water. Jungkook, get up, you need to eat and take medicine. He groaned, his eyes squinting against the light as he turned to look at her. I'm fine, Yoon. Don't bother. Yoon placed the tray on the table beside the bed. She then settled the comforter to the side and sat beside him. You're not fine, Jungkook. You have a fever and you need to eat. It's your favorite chicken soup. It will make you better. Jungkook pouted. I don't want soup. I want to sleep. You will feel better after eating. Come on, don't be a baby. Jungkook huffed, shifting uncomfortably under the blanket. I hate being sick. No one likes being sick, but you have to eat something so you can take medicine. She placed the tray in front of him. He looked at the tray and then at her. Am I gonna eat by myself? You won't feed me? He pouted and Yun pressed her lips together. Should I feed you? Of course, he said, as it was obvious. Yun wanted to tease him, but considering he was always burning with fever, she decided against it. He opened his mouth as Yun brought a spoonful of soup to his lips. This is not fair. You're not feeding me with love. How do you feed with love? Jungkook grinned mischievously. Well, with every soup you have to kiss me. Yun eyes widened, a blush scrubbed her cheeks. No, you're sick. What if I get sick too? He pouted again, attempting to look pitiful. But it's the best medicine, they say. Who said that? Does it matter? Well, yeah. Fine, just feed me. You look away, acting like a small kid whose mother refused to give him candy. You look at him and then lean forward, pecking his cheek. Not bad, but I was thinking more like here. He pointed to his with a grin. You narrowed her eyes at him. Now I'm feeling like you're not that sick. Cruel, he muttered under his breath, and Yun continued to feed him. Wait, how do you even get sick? You were fine last night. You forget how you were playing in the water? We both get soaked and staying out in the cold like that. Well, here I am. Yun eyes wide and she started to remember bits and pieces from the last night, flashes of their laughter by the lake, the chilly water, and their soft clothes replayed in her mind. Jungkook taking care of her when she was drunk. He was clinging. How she was clinging to him like a koala all night, whining like a baby. Guilt and concern washed over her. I'm sorry, Jungkook. This is all my fault. Why are you apologizing? Because of me you got sick. Hey, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. Besides, I had fun last night. Getting sick happens, and honestly taking care of you last night was worth it. You were adorable. I must annoyed you last night too much, didn't I? I never get drunk again. Oh, you were handful. Keep calling me pervert when I was just trying to get you out of those red clothes, and the way you insisted on changing yourself, claiming your husband would beat me up if I helped. Ian hid her face in her hands. Wow, it's embarrassing. Nothing you did was embarrassing. In fact, it made me realize that how much I cherish taking care of you. You were not annoying, you were just being yourself, and that's what I love about you. I do take care of you every night if I get drunk or not. You underestimate me, Jungkook. You looked in his sincere eyes and wow, when didn't she become lucky to have such a husband like him? Now feed me the last spoon too. And Yun did feed him the last spoon of soup. Once she finished, she placed the tray on the table. She reached for the medication. Jungkook obediently took the tablet, gulping them down with water. He slipped back under the cover, then carefully adjusted the blanket around him, ensuring he was comfortable. She was about to move away when Jungkook's hand shot out, grabbing her wrist. Where are you going? I was thinking to wash Hanna in the kitchen. No, wait, I mean help Hanna in the kitchen and wash these dishes off my head. You can wash them later. Come here. Jungkook, I need to go clean up. I'll be back in few minutes. She attempted to free her waist from his grip, but Jungkook tightened it slightly, making it clear he was not ready to let her go. But I want you here. What a big baby. Yun's heart melted at his whining, and she couldn't help but give in. She sat tray aside, Jungkook grinned, pulling Yun onto the bed under the comforter. She could feel his body warmth, the slight fever lingering as he hugged her tightly, now feeling much better. Yun rolled her eyes, unable to suppress her smile. She reached out to ruffle his hair. You are such a big baby when you are sick. I'm not. Yun touched his forehead with the back of her hand. You're hot. Jungkook smiled, his eyes still closed. I know, babe. Yun slightly slapped his chest, earning a groan from him. Sorry. She chuckled and added, I'll get you some water and towel to help you bring down the fever. But he shook his head. No, stay here with me. I don't need anything else. Yun sighed, giving in his stubbornness. He wanted to move, but his grip on his wrist tightened, and his eyes were closed as she breathed softly. Her fingers softly grazed his face and jawline, then down his neck, but she stopped as she saw a red mark, his hair slightly covering, and she moved his hair aside, tracing the red spot. It looked painful. She traced the shape, and then sudden memory hit her. Her ears burned with embarrassment as the realization hit her. It was a hickey. From when did she become so bald? She traced the mark, her eyes flickered up, and her breath caught in her throat when her eyes met his. Are you getting your memories back now, Mrs. Yoon? I didn't mean to. That was not me. Someone is embarrassed, but I thought last night you were quite enjoying yourself when you were sucking on my. She punched his chest again and hid her face, making him chuckle and wince at the same time. Blame the alcohol. Alcohol? Or was it your secret desire coming out? Jungkook, stop. She hit him again with her fist on his chest, and Jungkook winced. Babe, I'm still not well. Stop punching me. I'm sorry, she said and kissed his chest where she hit him. Kiss it better too. She looked up at him and stopped caressing. Narrowing her eyes, she hit him again. Ow, ow, it hurts. He let out, eyes setting in deep pain. His body is still weak in pain, and his head is hurting badly. He panicked and kissed his chest again, saying sorry and sorry again and again. Meanwhile, he was enjoying the way she was taking care of him. She pecked his forehead, and he suppressed a smile, still shutting his eyes tightly. The pain is too much, he said like he was in teen pain, and she didn't even hit him hard. She kissed him, the lead in kissing his chest multiple times, and then when Jungkook opened his eyes, satisfied, a smile plastered on his face. Is it better now? Perfect. And you look up at him with a done face. She raised her hand, and this time she was planning to hit him hard for making her worried. But Jungkook was quick to hold her hand. He kissed her knuckles and intertwined her hands together before placing it on his chest. He chuckled, closed his eyes again, feeling his eyes were feeling heavy. He loved to tease her. He loved to see the redness on her cheeks. Can't help it. She is being too adorable to resist. Hanna stood in her balcony, her eyes fixed on Jungkook as he cleaned his bike. Today he was behaving strangely, and she couldn't figure it out why. Normally he would seize any chance to annoy her. Today he seems to be avoiding her. Questions swirled in her mind. Did something happen last night? Why couldn't she remember it? She closed her eyes, hoping a grasp onto any memory from the previous night. Suddenly flashes of scene flooded in her mind. Hanna opened her eyes, frozen in a place. Her eyes widened and a blush crept on her cheeks. What had she done? She bit her lips as she stared at Taehyung. Oh no, oh no. She paced back and forth in the balcony, replaying the memories and trying to make sense of her own boldness. Why did she kiss Taehyung? What did he think of her now? This can't be happening. Hanna, what had you done? Why are you like this? She cried mentally and almost wanted to disappear. She cringed at the thought of her own audacity. Did she really say all those things to him? What now? Do I pretend like nothing happened? Should I talk to him about it? What if he avoids me? But he is already avoiding me. Does he regret it? What if he's regretted? Oh God, please save me from this embarrassment, she said as she stared at Taehyung, who was obvious to her inner turmoil. Jungkook fully recovered from his fever, much to Yoon's relief. Their life together again is normal rhythm, their shared moment together, and the comforting presence of each other. The same couldn't be said for Taehyung and Hanna. Hanna became usually quite not just around Taehyung but with everyone. She started avoiding him. The once vibrant and lively girl seems to retreat into herself, avoiding eye contact. Taehyung was hurt because Hanna is purposely staying away from him. He was thinking that maybe when she remembered the night, she would talk to him at least once. But Hanna avoided him, making him think that she regretted about that night. He is having a tough time because he just realized that Hanna kissed him when she was drunk. It was not because she had a real feeling for him. Before he thought he didn't like Hanna in a romantic way, but now he knows that he does. But those feelings are hidden. He loves to annoy her in a way that he wants to keep her close. Sadly, Hanna seems to have already tell him with her silent words that she didn't feel the same way about him. The dinner table was filled with lively atmosphere as everyone chatted about their day. Mrs. June was engrossed in conversation with Yun and Mrs. June with Jungkook while Hanna was quietly eating. So did Taehyung. Taehyung cleared his thought, gaining everyone's attention. Actually, Aunt, Uncle, I want to tell you something. Sure, Taehyung, what is it? I have been offered a new project in Diego, and I have decided to move back permanently. I have been considering it for a while and now feels like it's the right time. Hanna snapped his direction at the sudden noise. Their eyes met, and for a brief moment it felt like entire conversation passed between them. Taehyung maintained eye contact for a second longer than before, turning his attention back to the plate in front of him. That's actually good, but permanently? Yes, permanently. My mom and dad are not here, so I don't think there's much for me in the city. And my holidays are over. Brother, that's not fair. Do I mean nothing to you? Hey, don't be upset. I will video call you every now and then. And maybe visit sometime. Still, if you think that better, but you are welcome here anytime. This is your home too. They managed to give her a smile grateful for sweet words. You are going back too early. I stayed here for more than a month. When are you going? A day after tomorrow. I need to pack my things. He spoke, his eyes meeting Hanna again like he was telling her. Oh, already? Time flies. Time does flies. Did you enjoy your time here? I did and always do. Thank you for having me. Ash, don't thank us. It's your home too. Taehyung smiled as his eyes flickered to Hanna again, but she avoided eye contact, looking down on her plate. What type of project it is? Mr. June asked, and Taehyung began to explain him how the project is huge and how much they have benefit now in future too. Meanwhile, Hanna was looking down for the whole time. Hanna lay on her room, her face buried in the pillow. Why the hell was he leaving? She had forgotten that he needed to go back, and now all of this happened. She hated how she could sense something behind him as he looked sad, and then he hid his emotion. Why was he so difficult? She wanted to know the reason. She wanted to end all this uncertainty and confusion for a whole week. The same thought ran through her mind, making it difficult for her to face him. Intentionally ignoring him, and she didn't know how to confront him. It wasn't that she hated him. In fact, she didn't even know that what she felt for him. Hanna never hated him. It was just she despised boys generally. It all stemmed from one person, her crush in school when she was much younger. It was a normal crush that every girl had, but when that boy became her project partner, she was excited. He flirted with her and Hanna thought that he really liked her. However, she later discovered that he had a girlfriend all the time. The day he proposed to Hanna to be his girlfriend was the same day she found out about his girlfriend. The girlfriend started to spread rumors about Hanna, and the boy accused her of flirting with him, knowing he was committed to someone. Since then, Hanna despised boys. They all seemed to have the same way to her. Even though Taehyung was different, he always annoyed her, always bickered with her, and she thought he hated her. Then she gave the same energy back. If there was any feeling for him in her heart, she buried them deep down because she couldn't trust boys. She couldn't trust them with that love thing. She believed staying single was better than being heartbroken by a guy who didn't deserve her day. However, after that night, her heart was not at peace. Now she felt like she had a disease called love. But now he's leaving, and she has to do something before he leaves. Because if he did, then she don't know if anything will be at the same as before.